Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Morning Cafe. Aiman here. Right, so looking at the S&P 500, well, it jumped around 1.08% on yesterday's session as the risk appetite returned strongly across the Wall Street. Right, so I believe this time the rally was supported by the news that several major US retailers and also consumer companies delivered stronger sales outlook, easing concern that the consumer spending is slowing down too aggressively. So also, I believe that the chip makers and also the semicons companies or stocks continue to climb after the fresh announcement of the increased AI-related capital spending by the large tech firms. Um, Also, the market reacted positively after the oil price pulled back sharply, helping to reduce the near-term inflation concern. Moving forward, I believe that the momentum may remain positive if the economic data continues to show resilience without the overheating inflation. So I believe for now, buyers are still treating the recent um, past few days pullbacks as the opportunities to re-enter the market. Right. So if you look at the China A50 futures, well, it slipped around 0.15% on a Wednesday session. Um, Sentiment turned slightly cautious after the recent rebound, right? So yeah, I believe the weakness came after the fresh data showed that the China factory activity remains soft, raising concern that the economic recovery is still uneven despite the recent stimulus effort. So also at the same time, the investors also stay defensive ahead of the the US-China development and also policies signals from Beijing limiting buying momentum in the large cap stocks. So I believe the in China, right, the property related counters remain under pressure after the concern over the sector's recovery continue to weigh on the overall sentiment. So moving forward, the China market may continue to trade cautiously unless the stronger economic data or fresh stimulus measure to emerge in the market. Right. So if we look at the WTI crude on futures, well, it dropped sharply on yesterday's session around 4.78%, 4.8%, right, on Wednesday, with heavy selling seen across the energy market as well. So the decline came after the report, recent report that the OPEC Plus may consider increasing production quota in the coming months, raising concern about the higher global supply. Yeah, and also the weaker than expected China factory added data, right? Added fresh worries over the slowing down of oil demand from China. And technically, the sell-off accelerated as well after price broke below the uh 21-day moving average, right, triggering additional liquidation and also short-term bearish momentum at the moment. So looking ahead, I believe the oil price may remain volatile at this juncture as traders continue to monitor some developments from OPEC Plus and also the global demand condition as well. And if you look at our local market, our FBMK LCI, well, it fell around 0.55% on Wednesday, right? While the FKLI also declined by 0.32% as the broader market sentiment turned weaker yesterday. So the sell-off was mainly driven by the weakness in the banking and also plantation heavyweights, right, following softer regional market sentiment and cautious foreign fund flows. Also at the same time, investors reacted negatively to concern over slower global growth and a weaker China economic data, which pressured commodity related and export linked sectors as well. Yeah, I think the market sentiment also turned defensive after the latest US economic data push. The bond yield higher, reducing the overall risk appetite across the Asian market. And I believe moving forward, the market may remain cautious with traders closely watching external development and also the foreign fund flow direction um, for now. I mean, the weakness suggests that the market is entering a short-term consolidation or sideways after the recent rebound attempt, I would say. Yeah, shifting our focus to the heat map here. I think selling pressure in the banking and also some tax and plantation, right, weigh on the overall market sentiment, with weakness seen in the CIMB, right, and also you have MKH and several tech names as well. Yeah, but the downside was further pressured by losses in selected um, telco and also consumer stock as well. Um, Despite the gains in a handful of industrial and also manufacturing uh, counters such as Suncon, um, Solarvest, press metal help cushion the further decline, right? Yeah, so most of the sector retreated or pulled back yesterday. And looking at our Malaysia trading stocks, so today we have ATech or Aurelius Technologies. Um, so it's on its pending breakout formation higher at 76 cent level on a strong volume together with a strong volume. So with that, we expect the momentum to keep bullish and the stock able to propel to test the next resistance at 81 cent level, followed by 86 cent level after it could bridge the 76 level. So if the stock to clear below the 71 support, this could reverse the course and might trend lower. And next we have Go Hub Capital. So the stock is experiencing a breakout at ringgit and 35 cent level. So if the stock to remain bullish, we anticipate the stock to climb up higher to travel towards 1 ringgit and 47 cent, followed by 1 ringgit and 60 cent for the second resistance. And do keep an eye at the 1 ringgit and 23 cent for any attempt of reversal. So today we have one pending breakout stocks, which is ATech, and also one breakout stocks, which is Go Hub, Go Hub Capital, right? And lastly, for our FCPO, well, it closed marginally lower by around 0.04% on Wednesday as the market traded cautiously with limited fresh buying interest. Yeah, so I believe the slight weakness came after weaker export estimates for the first half of the month, which raised concern over the slowing demand from the key importing countries. However, I believe that the downside remained limited as traders were still supported by concern over the tighter supply and also the weather-related production risks in the region. So looking ahead, right, I believe that the FCPO may continue trading lower as the market is trying to balance balance out the weaker demand against the ongoing supply concern. Right, so we are targeting for the 4,390 support level, and also 4,300 support level in the upcoming session. Right, so that's all from me. Pass the floor to the next presenter. Thanks everyone and happy trading.
Okay, good morning everyone. So today we have a company update on Gamuda. So yesterday they secured two solar power station projects, which is the Smoky Creek and Guthrie's Gap solar power station project, worth a total of about 3.1 billion ringgit. So this brings Gamuda's outstanding order book to about 55 billion ringgit, and its year-to-date FY26 wins to about 25 billion ringgit versus our 27 billion ringgit job replenishment for FY26. So this project was actually obtained, earlier on. Gamuda via DT Infrastructure was actually selected as a preferred contractor by the project owner, which is Edify Energy, back in March this year. And aside from the Smoky Creek and Guthrie's Gap solar power station project, Edify Energy, who is the project owner, also appointed Gamuda as a preferred contractor for another project, which is the Ganimira and Majors Creek power station project. But that has yet to see some formal award to take place. So perhaps in our view, that could likely happen maybe 6 months to a year from now. All in, we make no changes to our earnings estimates, given that the latest job win is within our FY26 replenishment assumptions. But looking ahead, we view that there's going to be a lot more of this renewable energy opportunities across Australia, especially with the need for data centers in Australia to start depending on renewable energy sources, as opposed to relying on the main grid. So all in, we maintain buy with an unchanged target price of 6 ringgit and 19 cents. So that's all from me, everyone. I will pass on the floor to the next speaker. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Adam. Morning, everyone. Let me continue with a results review on Solarvest fourth quarter results. Full year earnings came in above expectations. Core earnings up 56% to 88 million ringgit, tracking about 113 and 111% of our and the consensus estimates. The positive deviation is mainly driven by a stronger than expected core margin of 12% as compared to 11% last year. And note that we have adjusted 8 million ringgit for the forex losses and also the impairment losses. In terms of order book, it's now standing at 2.5 billion ringgit, up 67% Q-on-Q, mainly driven by the recent LSS 5 Plus project win with an expected value of 1.1 billion ringgit. The year-to-date project wins of 1.2 billion is now tracking the 43% of our order book replenishment assumption of 2.7 billion ringgit. And the management is still guiding the 2 GW LSX6 tender with an expected value of 10 billion ringgit after the inclusion of battery to be called in the second quarter of this year. And on the flip side, the 1.5 GW CREST project is expected to see some updates in the second half of this year. All in, we raised our earnings forecast for the next 3 years by 3 to 5% after imputing a 25% higher CNI and also the residential order book replenishment assumption. We keep a buy call for now with a new target price of 3 ringgit and 64 cents. We continue to like the stock on the back of a strong earnings visibility and project pipeline for the next 3 years. And we see the current valuation of 26 PE, which is above 3 years average, is justified due to the rising solar adoption. That's all from me. Thank you for listening. I'll pass the floor to the next speaker.
Hi, thank you, John. Good morning, everyone. We have an auto sector update on TIV. So April TIV came in at a positive surprise, 13%, 13.5% increase in month-on-month and also 16% year-on-year. So April TIV is the strongest since December 2025. And this positive surprise was mainly due to the clearance of backlogs from festive season back in March. So for April TIV, the numbers were mainly carried by the national car makers, with Produa posting a 31% increase month-on-month and Proton increasing by about 16% month-on-month. Yeah, so overall, we keep our TIV assumptions unchanged of 780,000 units, which implies a 5% dip year-on-year. We still maintain our neutral call on the sector as we remain cautious on the potential of subdued demand coming from the current elevated crude oil prices, which some are expecting to start hitting in June. And we also remain cautious on the sudden shift in policies, on the possibility of exclusion of fuel subsidies. Yeah, so this may lead to consumers delaying their car purchases. Yeah, so overall we maintain neutral and we prefer Samtabi as our top pick given its earnings visibility and also on valuation angle, which is currently trading at a below average. Yeah, I think it's closer to -1 to -1.5 standard deviation. Yeah, so that is all from me. Thank you, and I'll pass on to the next speaker.
Thank you, Iftaar. Morning, everyone. Vanessa from the Warrants team. So, I'll just share with you on some of the warrants under the spotlight yesterday. If you have joined our lunch webinar yesterday together with Joseph, there's actually a few warrants that we mentioned about what we can actually look at. All right, so these are some of the names if you have missed out. So yesterday, yesterday we actually talked about Tenaga C3B, Mflar CO, DNEX C46, and also Solarvest C2. So Solarvest C2 is actually one of the warrants that actually gained 20% yesterday from the day of previous close the previous day closing. Yeah, so we actually noticed very huge I would say some of the huge movement huge movement in Solarvest market share yesterday in the afternoon session. So for these warrants with an effective gearing of near about 5 times to 5.5 times, it actually gained 20%. Yeah, so I'll share with you on the chart later on. All right, so these are some of the warrants that you can actually put under your watch list, because like for example DNEX C46, DNEX itself is also declaring the quarterly results soon. Right, so there's another thing that I would like to bring your attention to, which I already shared last week, but I still want to let you know. That's actually a batch of warrants that's expiring very soon. These are the names. So that's one warrant which is called the EcoShop CD. Is expiring on 25th May. The last trading date will be this Friday. So if you have any EcoShop CD you want to sell, then this will be tomorrow will be the last day lah, and then the last day will be on Monday. Okay, so this is the list of it. All right, so this was all this list, right? It's actually important for you to know what do you have it in your portfolio, first thing, and second thing is that whether you can actually get this thing cash settled. All right, so only in the money warrants, just check on the moneyness of the warrants, take a 5 days average closing. The last 2 days you can only assume lah, because the last 2 days will not be able to trade anymore. I mean, yeah. So with this, formula, you'll be able to see whether you will get back any cash settlement. So if it's already out of the money, you count, then minus off the exercise price, realize that that's like zero. So means that you are not entitled for any cash settlement. So it would be great if you can actually sell it in the market right now before the expiry. So if you want to wait for expiry, then you actually have to wait for 7 working days, 7 market days for the money to be credited back to your account. Just like e-dividend lah. So yeah, so you actually take some time to look at it. All right. So so today our friend John actually shared with you on Solarvest results. So I'll just share on my screen as well. No wonder you see yesterday went up so much, right? Okay, but of course there will be ups and downs for all shares. So if you still have a bullish view, then only you actually invest in a call warrant. While if you have a bearish view, then you have to invest. You actually have to look for a put warrant and invest in a put warrant or for hedging purposes. All right, so how do we look at it? Solarvest, this is the screen from RHB Warrant website. If you go to warrant details and search Solarvest C2, you'll be able to see the detail of Solarvest C2. So on the right hand side will be the price metrics. So you can compare the mother share price and also the warrant price. It's actually promoting price transparency for structured warrants. Yeah, not all issuers will provide this, but most of them, including RHB, we actually have this for our clients. Okay, so if you click here, then you'll be able to see the exercise price is at 2 ringgit and 68 cents. And then if you scroll down, you'll be able to see the price chart movement. It's a very simple one. Don't compare it to like TradingView and so forth, but there are differences also. So for this chart, we will only use the closing bid price for the warrant. So if you're using Bloomberg, TradingView, or maybe RHB TradeSmart Advanced Charting, you will be only seeing the last traded price. So last traded price does not mean it's the last warrant bid, because warrant bid price is the one that provided by the market makers. All right, so this is just for a reference, like it's not going to help you with a lot of decision making, but it's just for your reference. So on 19 May 2026, on Tuesday, it actually closed at 5 cents. Yeah, so the underlying price was 2 ringgit and 59. So yesterday it actually went up to 2 ringgit and 70 cents for the mother share, and the warrant bid price from 5 cents it became 6 cents. So it's about 20% gain. Yeah, so this is how we look at it. However, if today you have some other warrants that you are you have other underlyings that you're still looking at, maybe like for example DNX, even though yesterday is not performing that well, but you are still bullish on it, then you can just search on the RHB or website warrant search function. Okay, so just play around with this during the market hour, so then it will actually help with your investment decision hopefully. Okay, so yep, that's all from us today. If you have any more questions, right, feel free to call RHB Warrant hotline. This is the hotline, and we'll see you tomorrow at the same time. RHB Morning Cup at 8. Thank you.